I'm Job,
And I'm Josh.
and
Today we're reviewing issues 1 through 10
of The Walking Dead.
covers. We're not reviewing the story. So, Job, start us off on issue number 1 with the cover.
Well, we got a cover of Rick with his back sort of facing the camera, and he's got a double-barrel shotgun, loading some rounds into the double-barrel shotgun to blow off the zombies that are behind him, or to the right of him, because you can see in the shattered window mirrors that there are zombies behind him because they're facing direction, so they would naturally be where he's looking. So, yeah. What do you have to say about the...
Well, I noticed that there's an ammo box on the car that has the hood crashed, wrecked in. There's some mannequin arms outside of the broken glass, like Job mentioned. There are zombies in the reflection. Rick looks kind of pissed, like he's going to shoot him with his double-barrel shoot gun. And there is a shoe on the bottom left.
Yep.
And a target, as if Rick is looking at the walkers, and the target symbolizes his target. And the shoe symbolizes that there's going to be a lot of dead people with the limbs are ripped off and from the shotgun and the bullets. So, what else do you notice about this?
Well, I noticed the car that is rusted actually hit the fire hydrant, and that's why it wrecked. It's just a very bad car, but it hit the fire hydrant and it's tipped over, and there's a chain that hangs from the fire hydrant, and yeah, the cover art is very detailed and very nice. I like the debris, the bricks, the trash, the glass, the shards that are beneath his feet. There are shards beneath his toes and everywhere that you can see because the glass broken, and the mannequins, I think, symbolize death because they have their arms ripped off, and they're purple, and usually dead people turn blue in real life. So nice little foreshadowing there. So anything else you have to say?
Yeah, I think that honestly, like you mentioned the shards, it's kind of like his reality shattered, because this is issue 1. He wakes up from the coma and the world is completely different. So that's all I really have to say about issue number 1's cover. Now, issue number 2, Joe, what do you feel about this one?
Well, I feel is, I think Rick is looking to have a brighter day. He's getting a little hope back, and the sun's beaming behind a false hope, and there's a lot of wrecked cars and dead bodies everywhere, so that false hope is soon to be gloomed over by death. And the horse looks like he's like pulling on the reins saying, hey, stop, because there's death, gloom, destruction, dead bodies, rotting carcasses, and more shards. And now you can see the weather slightly changing because leaves are falling on the ground, and he lost his, he has his stuff packed away, his hat and everything. What do you got to say about it?
Well, I was laughing. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was cracking up while Joe was talking because I look in the bottom right corner. There's a walker looking right at me. So I don't know if you noticed at the bottom right, I'm dead right now. And then I was also looking where Joe mentioned the walker looking like he's underneath the car next to the one that's looking at it, and there's a head coming the opposite way like it was disembodied.
Yeah.
And I like how there are vultures. And vultures gather around dead bodies. So Rick is going towards the city. He's trying to go to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and he has a horse now. His jacket is no longer on him.
And what I also noticed is that the furthest car away from the camera, not the one that is on the left that's super far away, but there's one on the right with a door open. I think someone was trying to escape and either got shot or got murdered, or just turned into a zombie because they just gave up. And that car hit the tree again. There's a lot of cars smashing into things. First issue, you got the fire hydrant. Now this one, you got it smashing into a tree. Symbolism. Fire hydrant, small problem. Tree, bigger problems. Bigger problems are arising for Rick, and we will soon to be finding out those.
Well, another thing to go along with that cover is you notice how everything still looks clean. Like, it's bright, there's no trash, everything, like, there's only a little bit of the road that has the debris and the dead bodies, but everything else looks clean. And then later on, well, you'll see. Go to the next cover. Thank you, Captain.
Now we have 3 people. We have Lori, Carl, and Rick. And they're all looking cool, and there's really nothing much here. The white background, Carl has freshly shaven baby face. Lori looks like a monkey, and Rick is just epic with his bag on his shoulders, and Lori looks depressed, and Carl just looks like he's ready to tear up a zombie with his big revolver. So what do you guys say? What do you think?
It looks like Lori knows that she just, she took the Punisher's BBC, or BWC.
Black from the waist below.
And this issue, this cover right here, you really get, if you weren't a comic book reader and you were just look at the cover art, you could tell right now that all three of these don't look anything like they do on the show.
Yeah.
They look nothing like.
Well, I also noticed there's they have really dirty pants, and well, they're all torn up, and Carl's got some tattered jeans, and Rick's got a tattered knee, and Negan, and yeah, let's.
Well, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm sorry. So, you notice about Carl? He has the same paw print on his white shirt as he does on the TV show in season 1. That's from was it Science Dog, the comic book that Robert Kirkman made, I believe. So it's nice to see that little crossover. That the TV show Carl also got the dog paw print Science Dog from Robert Kirkman's other comic book.
And obviously the police hat is in the. That's a big thing. That's in the show, so.
Yep.
That's obvious. Yeah, but you're all right that none of the characters really look like themselves. Carl kind of looks like a little bit. You can see the little eyes.
He looks older in the show.
Yeah. Rick, not really. And Lori, oh, good gosh, what did they do to her nose?
She has polar bear syndrome.
She has polar bear syndrome.
And now we're ready, Captain.
Okay, issue 4. What's the first thing you notice?
I noticed that you can tell who this is on the cover because of the wedding ring. Rick is the only one that we've followed so far that actually has a wedding ring because he has a wife. As you can tell by issue number 3's cover, it's kind of weird, but he's bleeding out like from the top of his arm, and it's going all the way down his hand. You see the stereotypical fat hillbilly trucker.
That's exactly what I was going to say, the fat hick.
And he has a Ford shirt, so that's a reference to the real world. And there's a walker in front of Rick's gun that has a bandage on his head, and there's only one black walker and a whole bunch of whites, and it's Atlanta where. Anyway, Joe, what do you notice?
Well, I noticed that. Well, Hicks stands out to me. I mean, he's got a big belly, and he got his left arm bitten into because, well, he was probably driving a Ford. He shouldn't have done that. That's why he died. Broke down on him. There's one that was fresh out of the hospital with a bandage wrapped around his head. Probably didn't make it out, poor fella. And Rick is there with a loaded gun and blood dripping down his hand on his wedding ring, and
symbolizing the death of his marriage, I assume.
Symbolizing the death of his marriage, we assume. And I noticed Atlanta buildings, and the light is slowly diminishing from the background. There are walkers everywhere.
Yeah. Well, if you look closely near the middle left, you'll see out of all those windows, well, I assume out of all those windows, only one of them is broken.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if I can, just in case.
Yeah.
And so, anything else to add to this one, Captain?
I don't think so. I think that's, well, there's smoke on the ground. There's like a fog, so maybe like
good one.
Explosion or some sort of dust blowing by. Something like that. Grenades usually cause smoke or wind, so, and there's debris in the air, so probably from the broken window that's spewing out paper and stuff. You never know.
I didn't even think to mention that. That's a good one. All right, we're ready for the next one. Issue number 5's cover. Joe, what do you see?
I see a group of people huddling up in the snow, surrounded by walkers, and Rick with his huge shotgun.
Sorry.
And they all have new clothes on.
Yeah.
Not new, but Rick has new pants, I assume. They weren't tattered up, and, well, everyone looks like they're ready to do battle.
You like Joe was saying, you can see a whole bunch of characters that we should be familiar with from season 1. Dale on the far left, Hori on the left of Rick
Shane
in the middle
with no mouth.
Yes,
right.
Looks nothing like him on the show. Carlito is Little Red Riding Hood, and I assume that's Amy and her sister, there's someone like hidden behind Rick, like right underneath his elbow, and there's, I believe, Andrea wearing the green hat. I'm not entirely certain. We see a walker on the bottom right, its foot or shoe of a walker, and Dale has a shovel, and he has a hat from the show. So what else do you see? Well,
I see a naked walker on the left. You can see its calf muscle.
My God.
It's naked and
yeah.
And I also see a hand in the top right corner.
Oh my God! I was about to say that. I didn't want to interrupt you.
I also see. Well, that's honestly kind of it. I just see a bunch of walkers. I see Rick with his shotgun, Carl looking like a coward, Shane looking like a bad A, and Lori looking pregnant. I mean, well, that's for a future time.
I like the snow.
I do too.
I like the color of the background and the tint.
I like
Everything's
the sky. The sky's kind of depressing though at times.
Yeah, why does it feel depressing? What gave you that impression?
Well, what makes me feel depressing is, well, I think it's how it gradients up and turns black. Like if it was all blue, I think that it'd be nice, but the way it gradients out and there's different shades and colors, winter is a good season, but especially when you're fighting off the undead, probably doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah, I agree. So do you like? Is that a double barrel shotgun?
That is a double barrel shotgun. Yeah.
Okay.
And Shane has a pump action.
Pump action from the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Notice how they're all wearing like clothes that Southern people would wear.
Yeah, they're not wearing like short.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's winter, but they're not wearing like tees, and they're all wearing like they're wearing the Southern button-up shirt with a shirt underneath.
Oh, plaid.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I get that. All right, next issue.
Oh,
this one's very abstract. That means it lacks detail. You have to, for those of you that don't know, you have to really like guess at the details.
And interpret what's going on.
Keep going, Captain. Take it away.
Well, we know what a cross symbolizes. It's usually a religious thing, but it also, you put that on a gravestone or someone that symbolizes death, and a shovel. This is very abstract, but in terms of a shovel and a cross, we all know that someone will die, so that's obvious. And the bright red and orange sky also symbolizes death, because red does. So now in the background, you see all the characters. You can make out Lori with her outstanding figure. It looks like a twig. You can see Dale. I mean, it's just like right there. She's just like a pyramid. And you see some more heavy people like Shane and some other people.
You see Carol and Sophia on the bottom left.
Little baby.
Carol, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Lori just holding Carl's hand. You can barely see Carl, but he's down there.
Yeah, that's true. I really like how, like Joe was saying, you get a feeling of death from this abstract image. I like how the trees don't have any leaves on them, or very few, I should say. There are very few in the middle.
Yeah.
That symbolizes death as well.
The fall of something.
Oh, God, that's a good one. And that's a good one. Rick's head cutting off the A conveniently on The Walking Dead.
Okay, next image.
Image number 7 is Rick with his map blanket on. How convenient. It's a map. And it's white like snow, so he kind of like blends in. Maybe he's trying to trick other survivors to see the RV with its lights.
The RV in the background with
take it away.
I think that's Shane maybe with the shotgun in the background or something.
Yeah, I see rifle. Shane and Dale, or Jim.
Yeah.
I definitely see Dale because his hat, and then Shane. It does have to be Shane and Dale.
Rick looks. This might be a foreshadowing of. Oh gosh, do I have to give a spoiler? It might give a foreshadowing of Michonne with the poncho blanket.
That's good.
Symbolizing a new character.
That's good.
But I think it symbolizes like they're going through a hard time. Winter, you got to travel, and trying to get an RV through snow is hard.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how you mentioned Michonne's foreshadowing was absolutely perfect. Also notice how Rick's shotgun is overlapping the E in The Walking Dead. I also see how The Walking Dead is deteriorating more, and it's becoming blue when it's usually red and black sometimes. Yeah. Now it's blue to symbolize how cold it is.
Yeah.
It looks like it's ice and or water freezing. And really, It's kind of like the background is abstract, and the foreground with Rick
Yeah,
is...
you can't see anything.
Exactly.
They could just be patrolling. They could be aiming at zombies. You don't know. So
Exactly. So we're going on to the next image. Cover number 8. Job, take it away.
Well, first thing I noticed is a frozen walker. It's just they're dead. It looks like it's been freshly killed. Well, no, it looks like it's been there for about a week or two. And we see Rick with the same poncho, blanket, shotgun, and the crows flying around, which symbolize death. What do you think?
I noticed in this one they have a lot of headroom to show that the world is getting smaller. They're not
empty.
moving as much. Because I believe at this point in time, they were in the RV headed on the road, but they were trying to get gasoline and supplies and things of that sort. I'm trying to see, besides the world shrinking, what else the sky having the headroom with maybe a bigger world is coming.
This sky, I know from experiencing 18 winters since I'm 18, that a sky that looks like that is morning because the way it gradients. Usually skies that are the sun setting, it's usually, well, it actually is usually brighter at the bottom, but this gives a feel of the morning, like he's walking during the morning. It doesn't feel like an afternoon just because how the sky looks. It's got that bluish, with a slight hint of pink to the. So I think it's morning. I think it's symbolizing a new day or new travels. So.
In the Walking Dead text, it's no longer frozen, it's blue.
Kind of thawing out.
Exactly. There you go. All right. Now we are on issue cover number 9.
Whoa.
This one, Job.
Has a lot.
You loved it so much. Take it away.
Well, first thing I notice is an eyeball with a fly on it. And Rick standing there with his hatchet, which the eye makes it extremely difficult to take out details in what he's actually doing because it's all blurry and blue and there's lines going and things crisscrossing, but that's a walker eye, I assume, because it's all gross and and it's staring at Rick, and I think Rick is vulnerable at this because the zombie's coming from behind him, and it symbolizes vulnerability.
Yeah, and how you can tell it's a walker is because if it was a human, if a fly touched your eye, you would blink, and this one is clearly wide open.
Yeah.
Missing a few eyelashes, probably needs to go to the salon and get those fixed, but
get that checked out.
Yes. And you know, in the show, Rick has his Colt Python. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really used a hatchet. He has used a hatchet before, but in the comics, he uses his hatchet a whole bunch, and he uses his Python less. So they flipped it on the show.
Yeah.
And it's a very colorful image. Very like Job said, it's zoomed in on the eye.
I think they upped their art style on the covers too. Because that fly is in Rick's leather is extremely detailed on his.
I think this is like an issue or two after they switched artists.
Yeah.
They got a new artist. I believe it's Adler that they got for the new covers. It could be wrong.
And the Walking Dead title is transparent or clear, sort of.
Yes.
It looks like water now.
It's becoming spring, slowly but surely. And so the next and I believe this is the final number 10, correct?
Yep.
All right. Image number 10.
Well, so we see Rick. He has a blanket over him, looking like a superhero with a cape.
A hijab.
And and if you notice the title, Gradients with the Sky, it goes from dark purple pink to blue in the top. And I like this, but if I had to change something, I would take away the blanket because he looks kind of silly with it. But that's just me, because I mean, he just looks like he's trying to be cool on top of a hill, like that thing he's staring towards the sun, and it's probably blinding him. So he's still got his same shotgun, same pants. Oh, police pants, because you can see the stripe on them, and same shirt. Probably hasn't washed in a while. I don't know. There's plenty of snow to melt. Rick, why wouldn't you just melt some and throw it on you and clean yourself? Again, he looks like he's trying to be cool, but it doesn't really work for me. I really don't like it. What do you guys say?
I noticed in the bottom right there's a water tower, symbolizing how far away they've gotten. You can still see the trees and the bushes and the brush are in the forest are still dead. They don't have any leaves on them now that I can see, discernible leaves. grass is starting to show through the snow. So,
Yeah.
what is it? Spring. Spring's starting to sprung.
This would probably be
sprung up.
January, February, since it's still really
It's still
cold
cold.
during that time.
Rick has a full beard. He's turned into Paul Bundy, and really, there's not really much. His knuckles have the tape around him. I don't know if he had them in the other ones. I didn't notice it if he did, but he has tape around his knuckles, probably to keep him warm. Maybe he broke them fighting some walkers. I don't remember. I haven't read these comics in a while, and his it appears to me that his blanket hijab is dirty, symbolizing more passing time.